Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona, and we're joined today by Christine Fish, the assistant volleyball coach. Thanks for being here today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, well, let's find out a little bit about you first before we talk about this incredible season that the Warriors are having, and kind of where you come from and what volleyball stops you've had along the way.
Sure. Wow, where I come from, I feel like that goes way back. I was born and raised in Cheyenne, Wyoming, so I lived there until I graduated high school, and then I went to college and played college volleyball at the University of Sioux Falls in South Dakota. And then after I got done playing, I was the graduate assistant coach there for a couple years. After that, I moved to Madison, Wisconsin, and was coaching club volleyball for Capital Volleyball Academy in that area. And I was only there for about a season and a half when the Winona State assistant job came open. And here I am. So it was pretty quick Reader's Digest version. But that's kind of a synopsis of where I come from.
All right. Well, the only thing I really know about Cheyenne is Frontier Days.
Of course.
So yes. I think that's what everybody kind of knows.
For sure.
That's really a big deal, though.
It is, yes. I mean, obviously Wyoming's not big to begin with, but our town triples in population from the tourists, and a lot of businesses are shut down throughout town, and it's a really good time. So if you've never been to the rodeo in Cheyenne, highly recommend summer vacation. I haven't been there in a few years, actually, but I used to tell people that it was more important than going home for Christmas, was hitting up Frontier Days. So yeah, definitely a big part of where I come from.
All right. So now, was your plan to go out to college somewhere else than Wyoming? How did you find out about the NSIC?
Well, actually, part of my story is the University of Sioux Falls didn't join the NSIC until my senior year. I was looking to get out of Wyoming for college and stumbled upon the University of Sioux Falls through a high school friend who was actually being recruited by their track program and ended up out there. We were in the GPAC and NAIA my freshman and sophomore year. My junior year, we got a new staff, and that was our transition season where we didn't qualify for any postseason and weren't a part of the conference. And then my senior year was USF's first official year in the NSIC. So if I could choose, I probably would have chosen to play in the NSIC for 4 years, but it was cool to say for my class that we were the first to be there. So definitely an interesting experience going through the transition.
All right. And so when did coaching kind of get in your mindset? When did you think, okay, I want to continue my volleyball career and I want to be a coach in the future?
I would say probably my junior year of college when the program I played for was going through a coaching transition. The staff that came in was just really inspiring to me in that regard. And I didn't declare a major until my junior year, so I was still kind of questioning what I wanted to do with my life, and knowing that physically I wasn't going to be playing volleyball as a career, but obviously love the sport and just had a passion and a real desire for coaching. I started coaching small town club volleyball in Sioux Falls, 14 and unders, my freshman year of college. So I've been involved in coaching in some way for over 10 years now, and I just kind of got the bug and never stopped.
All right. So you arrive here at Winona State, and obviously you know that the NSIC is one of the best conferences in Division II for volleyball. Did you expect the Warriors to have this good of a season this year?
Well, I definitely expected us to live up to our potential, and although it's kind of hard to know exactly what our potential is until we actually get out there and start making some moves. And at the beginning of the season, when we were still undefeated in the preseason, that was when we started thinking wow, we could really make a lot of strides here this season. And so I for sure expected a successful season. The great experiences we've had and some of the wins that we've had are definitely just pieces of the puzzle coming together, and it's part of what we always knew. It's different between having the potential to accomplish something and actually accomplishing it, and the fact that we've been able to do that really attests to the physicality and the mental strength of the team, and they're doing a great job.
All right, one more question then about you as an assistant volleyball coach.
Sure.
What are some of your duties, and what are some of the things that you have to do this season?
So a big part of my duties year-round is recruiting. So I spend a lot of time planning visits, connecting with our recruits, scouting players in the area and outside the area that might have good potential for our squad. In season, a big part of my duties is scouting our opponents. I watch a lot of game film throughout the week. It's pretty much all I do throughout the week, and I love it. I'm kind of a stats nerd. I love crunching the numbers and really scouting our opponents hard and coming up with the game plan. So that's a big bulk of what I do during the season.
All right, so this weekend, a couple of wins. You got a sweep against Mary, and that was the 9th sweep of the year, and then you got another win after that on Minot. Tell me a little bit about how the team did this weekend.
They did great against Mary. We were really pleased with just how dominant and intense we came out against them. It's funny, we kind of joke on the bench, like the beginning of matches or of sets are so tough because when it's 3-3, 4-4, you're like, come on, like we should be killing them. But obviously it takes some time to get into that rhythm, and we definitely got into it there. What we were really pleased about against Mary was that set 2, set 3, we were able to get in most of our bench, and the outcome was the same. We were still able to win pretty handedly and keep that momentum and that rhythm going, and we really didn't skip a beat, which really speaks to our depth this season, and which is something we've been preaching to the team all year, is how incredible our depth is, and that attests to the training in our gym, and so it's nice to be able to see that come to fruition.
All right, and last thing, what do you have to do to be successful the rest of this regular season heading into the playoffs?
In order to be successful heading into the playoffs, I think we just really got to put our nose to the grind and stay focused. We've got some big matches coming up against teams that are only 1-2 games behind us in the standings and are playing really similar schedules to us. So I just think understanding the urgency of those matchups and staying focused, getting in there, taking care of business is something that we've been talking about a lot. Definitely beatable teams going forward. It's just a matter of staying focused and understanding our game plan and finishing strong.
All right, well, thank you for that update.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Warrior Report. When we come back, Hannah McCann will join us right after this.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
This fall starts Saturday strong on Fox. Every Saturday at 11. Get started with the all-new Big Noon Kickoff pregame show.
Unbelievable! It's about to start!
Followed by the Big Noon Saturday Game of the Week.
Touchdown!
Start Saturday strong. Start Saturday on Fox.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Hannah McCann joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first question, obviously you're injured, unfortunately. Can you tell us what happened to you and how the rehab process is going?
So I don't have like a cool story or anything, but it was just in practice, and I just went for a ball and I stepped funny, and then I realized that I couldn't put any weight on my foot. So then I was like, okay, like I'll just talk to the trainer, see what's going on. I'm sure it's nothing serious. And then they were just suspecting that it was like a sprained ligament or something in my foot. They made me see the doctors, and I was like totally like cool with it. I wasn't nervous. I was like, it's nothing, no big deal. I go into the doctors, and then they told me that I tore like the ligament in between my big toe and my foot. and then I had to get surgery. So then I had my appointment on a Friday, and they scheduled me for surgery on a Monday. And it was just a quick thing, and I got surgery, and now it's just getting used to crutches and scootering around, and not that much fun, but nothing I can do about it now. So.
Right. So how long are you in the cast, and how long on crutches and that sort of thing?
So this cast I got from surgery, and I'm getting it off Wednesday. So I will be getting a boot, but I can't have any weight for 6 weeks. So I've only done 2 weeks of no weight, so I have like another month of crutching and scootering, and then after that I think I'm gonna start doing partial weight and then full weight and then like running, volleyball, and back into like the hard stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of the way that it is. You're a sophomore here at Winona State, so let's go back to maybe some happier times and
Yeah.
your high school career at St. Francis. What are some memories that you have of your high school career?
My high school career, I don't know, there was a lot of good memories. I know I had a really good relationship like with the coach and with a lot of the girls on the team. So I always had a lot of fun. And my sister also played volleyball. So my freshman year, when she was a senior and I was a freshman, we were both on varsity, and that was obviously super fun. Playing with my sister. Also, I'd say the success I had in high school was obviously fun. Being successful is always fun. So breaking the record, I feel like was a highlight for set assists. And I don't know, my senior year, it was just a lot of fun because I had a lot of close friends on the team too, which a lot of good memories. So.
Yeah, over 2,000 career assists in high school, which is an amazing number. What meant more to you, getting that record or going over 2,000?
I would say the record.
The record,
Yeah.
And you had the person that had the record before you actually present you with the game ball after you broke the record, correct?
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
Honestly, like I really liked it, just because it's just nice, like being able to meet people who you wouldn't normally meet, but because of sports and because of the record, we were both setters, pretty good setters. You know, she set the record before me, so it was just nice to like share that moment, just kind of have a connection with somebody that I wouldn't normally connect to. So.
All right. Let's ask, how is she as a teammate? How is she as a player on this Winona State team?
Hannah is one of the, I would say, feistiest kids on our team. She is just a fireball in the gym. She's one of the first ones to stop and pull her teammates in if a drill or a competition isn't looking the way that it maybe should. And she's also one of the most intense competitors in that sometimes she'll just fly across the court and get a touch that just her athleticism allows like not a lot of people in the gym to do. So we miss her a lot on court in our training. It's for sure a big void in our training right now not to have that energy and that firepower coming not only defensively but from dishing the rock too.
All right. Now, I know it's got to be frustrating to have to be on the bench right now, but especially as well as the team has been doing. But what's your advice to the rest of your teammates on how to keep this role going this season?
The advice I would say is just keep like the intensity up. Like now that I'm obviously not in practices, but I do still watch them and come and support. But we just always have like this high intensity like in the gym, and we as teammates kind of like demand a lot from each other, and same with our coaches, they demand a lot from us too. And yeah, there's a lot of pretty intense moments in practice where things can get pretty heated, and competition, like even this season when I was playing, like there were times where we get pretty heated, and you know, we hate losing. And I feel like as a team we're just lucky because we all kind of share like the same mindset. We all want to be successful, so no matter what your role is, like if you're on the bench, if you're on the court, if you're a sub, whatever you are, I feel like everybody is reaching towards the same goal, which is nice. And it's something that I feel like we don't even have to question to each other most of the time. So that's really a good thing to have in a team.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in, and hopefully you'll get back on the court soon. And good luck to the team the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break here on Warrior Report, and when we come back, we'll talk Warrior men's golf. That's coming up right after this.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-60.
Get ready to rock the block. 4 top designers, 4 suburban homes. The renovation showdown is on.
This is my turn. I don't like to lose. This is gonna be fun.
I'm gonna crush the competition.
It's time to rock the block.
Rock the Block. All new Monday night at 9 on HGTV.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Time to talk men's golf with Jeff Strait. Thanks for coming back here.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
Now, we saw you at the beginning of the year before you had any of your meets, and now we
Right.
see you at the end of fall.
Right.
So I guess just basically in a cumulative way, how did the season go?
It went really well. We won our first tournament, our invite at the Jewel, and beat a team that's still top 25 in the nation, Washburn. So really jump-started. Actually got us to 6th in the national rankings to start with. But we had a good season. We're in 5th right now in the region, and so it helps us really get into super regionals. It's going to be difficult to anybody to knock us out of that spot, just really based on who we play, competition, head-to-head competition. So we had a very successful, and had a couple of guys play really great. So.
All right, and how did the rest of the meets go? Did you see some progression from some of your golfers
Yeah,
throughout the
we
year?
played some large events too. We played in the national preview, which is the top 20 teams in the nation, and we played in the regional preview. So that was nice to really see some good competition from the southern teams. We got a couple 4th places, and we got 9th in the super region. So think about this, or in the national preview, if we get top 8 in the national championship, we get to play a match play for the finals. So we're 1 spot from that. So it's a big help. So it was good for the guys to see and get some good experiences against some really good teams.
All right, and then kind of jump ahead a little bit, but your last meet was out in Arkansas, in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Tell me a little bit about how the team fared there.
It was kind of a match play event, and we were trying to beat Henderson State on their home course, and we come very close. We were within a shot of tying them in match play, and within 2 shots of actually beating them. So it was kind of a good event. St. Edward's was there, which is a top 20 team, and always a top 20 team out of Texas, and we actually beat them score to score. So it was a good match play. Kind of had a couple guys get tied for 4th. So Tyler Beck and Brady Matson. So good performances by those guys.
All right, and then tell me a little bit about how it works with combining match play and stroke play during the season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I suppose you have to approach them a little bit differently.
Absolutely.
Correct. And then how does that mesh throughout the season?
Well, this event was like a match stroke play, but to get to the finals, and in Division I and Division II, the finals is match play, and the kids love to play match play because you could make a big number on a hole or a bigger number. It's just one hole, and you move on to the next, and it starts a whole new game. So the kids really like doing it. Our guys truly enjoy match play. We do it a lot too in practice and things like that.
Do you have any players that are maybe better at match than stroke, or the other way around?
I think Tyler won. Well, he tied one match and won one of his other matches against top 20 players in the nation. So Tyler's really good at it. Matthew Chandler played pretty well. Brady Matson won. I think he won 2 out of 3 of his matches. So it was really enjoyable kind of tournament. We were set up in pretty good situation when we got to that event. So a lot of our stuff is chasing. We have to go south and play those teams. They don't like coming up here. They're indifferent to the weather and the grass conditions. So we go chase them. So we built a really tough schedule for the fall that really paid us off early in the fall.
Now, you were telling me a little bit about the weather and how that kind of affects things a little bit. We talked about baseball and softball, how they have to go down south to start their season because it's too cold and too snowy up here. Is there an advantage in golf to go to a warm weather school rather than a cold weather school?
It helps. It probably helps us in the fall. But really, think about now, those teams are playing in October. I mean, even in Arkansas, it was like 40 when we teed off. In Florida, it was 70. So we're competing, and our national rankings are based on teams that are playing in California and Florida in ideal weather, and a lot of it's based on stroke average. But our probably scoring average, I think it's 284, 285. That's like monumentally low. I mean, it's probably the best fall we've ever had as a school or team, and maybe one of the best NSI falls that's ever been played.
And what do you attribute that to?
I think just hard work and a lot of competition for playing time. So we've got players, top three's kind of been the same, but there's 4 and 5. There's been a lot of different players in there, and then guys have come in and played really well, like Matt Turner, the local kid, shot 66 in a tournament, and that's a big help. So it makes a big difference.
All right, now you did give me the golf stat rankings, and we were kind of looking at that before we started taping here. And in all of Division II, you have 2 players that are in the top 60, and you're saying that no other NSIC team has a single player in the top 150.
That's correct.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Brady's season and
Well,
Tyler's season.
Brady started out really well, shooting 66 in his very first round. And then he's had some really low rounds, even in some tough conditions too. So that's pretty good. He's 27th in the nation. I think he was highest, probably 16th or 17th, and I think he's number 2 or 3 in the region. So that's a really good start to his season. Really, very helpful. And then Tyler's has been super consistent. Always turning in good scores. Not always going super low, but you can count on him. And so, adverse conditions, he's played super good. So that's awesome to see, and a springboard for really those 2 guys just really leading the team.
And the other amazing thing as you look at these standings is that Brady at number 27 and Tyler at number 58, their scoring average is not too far off from the top 10. That's got to give you some...
Yeah, I think Brady's a shot or 2 under par. Yeah. So it's not, my wife kids me, she said, 75 used to be good enough on this team. And she said it's not even close to good enough anymore. And that's really what with the standard and the bar has been raised, and we're really trying to get better as a team. And improve. And it's really our competition. We want to play the best teams in the country and match up against them.
All right, so now you're in your kind of break area before the spring season starts. What are some things that maybe you do with your team now? Can you have contact with your team in between seasons?
We give them a couple of weeks off, and then we really start with workouts. We hit the gym. We'll work on, a lot of them have different, we'll do benchmarking of what they do, whether it's strength conditioning, or club head speed and things like that. So we're all just trying to get better, stronger, faster, everything, just in really able to go have a great spring. So how can we take upon and build upon it? Having an indoor facility is huge. Really makes a difference for our team to be able to hit balls inside, to basically our drivers, par 3 play, and wedges, and even putting. We can improve that in the winter. Nothing like being on real grass. Right. But it helps us just make that step and play really well in the spring.
All right, and then what do you have coming up in the spring? When do you start the next spring season?
We get on a plane to Las Vegas the 3rd of March, and we're there for about 9-10 days, and we play 2 tournaments. We host one of those tournaments, and Minot hosts another tournament. That's a great jump start for us for a season. Our next tournament we co-host with Bemidji, our regional, our national, or conference preview. We'll go from there to, we're going to play in Warrensburg at Central Missouri's tournament they host, and we'll finish up at the conference. And hopefully not finish up at the conference and be playing regionals. And our goal is to go to playing for a national championship. That's our goal. So a lot of guys are super dedicated to that goal, and our whole team is. And we'll see what happens.
And as you were saying before, you've kind of seen the courses that some of these championships are going to be played on. How much of an advantage is that?
I think it's huge. I think it helps for confidence when the guy goes on the golf course. He already knows. We have yardage books. We have it graphed out. We walk out there like we know what we're doing versus, oh my goodness, what's this place all about? We've got 5 or 6 guys that already are familiar with the golf course and understand it.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us an update here.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
We're going to take a break here on Warrior Report. When we come back, Tyler Beck will join us right after this.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Get that money. When it comes to hustling, we want the meanest, fastest y'all got for the most amount of money. JJ the boss is running this operation.
You saying you JJ Day Boss?
Tension high tonight.
You want to test the shit? Come on, boy.
That sound like a bet. Lock that up. You mess with Memphis. We're a family. We don't back down from nobody. This is about pride and respect to know who runs the streets.
Get that money out, sucker! Get him out of here!
Street Outlaws Memphis. All new Mondays at 8 on Discovery.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Tyler Becknell joins us. Thanks for coming back here.
Thank you for having me.
We saw you back in May before the championships. Tell us a little bit about how last season ended for you.
Yeah, last season was pretty unique. It was an awesome. We ended up breaking the school record for under par at the conference championship. So that was the last round there, and then we went to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and competed at the Super Regional, which was the first time I have been there, and we have as a team since I got to college. So that was a really unique experience, and I think got a lot of growth for a lot of guys in our team, and kind of springboarded us into this fall.
And you said before when you were here that one of the benchmarks of last season was to take Coach back home. So what was that like to kind of experience that with your coach?
Yeah, that was really cool. None of us, I think, have ever been down to Arkansas, and it was a really unique experience, like I had said. Just being in that kind of environment, playing for a super regional and the chance to go to nationals is really cool, and it's a pretty intense, different style of golf, I think, than we're used to. So obviously do it or go home. So, I think that really gained a lot of experience for our team and just helped everybody out.
So now that you got a taste of that, obviously you want to go back. So what did you do during this off season to get ready for this fall season?
Yeah, this last summer I played quite a bit of golf, actually, just at my home club, and most especially I just worked on a lot of things, mainly off the tee. I think it's always good to hit the ball in the fairway, which I have done historically, but I think really this fall I kind of stepped my game up with my putter as well, and that was a couple of the things I focused on this summer. So it's nice to see the results paid off.
All right, and you heard what Coach had to say about your fall. How would you rate what you've done this fall?
I'm very satisfied with how things are going so far. It's the best season I've definitely had here at Winona State, and honestly, a lot of that credit just goes, me and a couple of other guys on the team have just, I think, really pushed each other, and that's kind of helped everybody out, and the results are clearly showing for our team overall scoring average.
All right, and Coach, he was a captain last year, and then now a senior. What kind of leadership has Tyler shown?
He's my actually lead captain, so he's in charge of the captains even. So Tyler's on the ball with everything. Whoever hires Tyler after college is going to be a very, very lucky company to get him. He's super smart guy. He cares deeply about the team and how things are going, the camaraderie, and all the guys on the team. So we have awesome chemistry on our team, just really good people that get along super well.
All right, NSIC Golfer of the Week. Tell me a little bit about that and what it was like to get that honor.
Definitely cool. Honestly, I don't think a lot of our guys in the team really worry about stuff like that, which is cool. It's cool to get individual accolades, but honestly, anytime somebody gets that, they're really just contributing to the team, and that's the most important part. So, I'm just obviously glad to do the best I can for the team. So.
All right. We also talked with Coach Strait in that last segment. You heard about the break now in between the fall and the spring. What are some things that you do and to get ready for the spring season?
Yeah, over the winter, I would say we definitely focus on January and February, really kind of getting back to the basics hard. November, December is a good time to get in the gym, like Coach said before, and work on a lot of strength and flexibility. January, February is a good time to really dial in with the putter, short game. Really all winter we kind of just sit in our golf lab, and it's kind of a place to go. And we don't see the golf course for most of the entire winter. Well, we don't in the winter, but going into much of the spring. So it's just the time to get ready for the spring and show everybody what we have in the spring. So it's a good time to practice.
All right, and then from the golfer standpoint, probably last question that we have in this segment, mentioned already seeing the championship courses. For you, how much of an advantage is it to see a course already, like the Jewel or some of these places that you've been, rather than go in blind and not really know what you're coming up on?
It's such a huge advantage. Last spring we played actually in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We weren't able to get the practice round in due to weather. And I think that was a bit of a disadvantage, but this year we have went to the national and regional preview, which is really good, just heading into the spring, knowing that we've seen those golf courses and knowing what we're capable of doing on them. So I think once you see something and you get more comfortable with it, that's just a huge advantage going into the tournament. So.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, guys, and good luck in the spring.
Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for joining us here on Warrior Report. We'll see you next time here on HBC TV 25.